I, Jon Nahhas, Boating Coalition. Has much bigger ramifications, as you may or may not know, in that the feds are coming. We've never had federal jurisdiction in Marina Del Rey. Some of you heard Patricia McPherson talk. You've heard John Davis talk. You've heard a lot of people talk about how this marina was built with the combination of county funds, federal funds, and state funds. Well, the state backed out. We actually lost a huge court case, it was actually SUMA versus the state of California. And in that lawsuit, the Attorney General of the United States essentially said that the state had no stake in Marina Del Rey, which only left two other players, the county and the feds. And the feds have never been held accountable. To get a federal hearing at this point, I've been doing this for now 10 years. We've never had the feds come in here and do a federal hearing. May 10th will be the first federal hearing we've ever had in Marina Del Rey. That is very significant because now we can pin them, and I got to use Walter as my mentor. They're probably well-intended people. You know, he showed you an email by Dan Swenson, and it's interesting, Dan Swenson and Bonnie Rogers, and we can name all the different players. They're all well-intended people. I'm learning. But they're doing essentially the wrong thing in not looking after our beautiful marina. And they're letting piecemeal development happening one by one by one and not looking at what we know as cumulative impacts and creating what is called an environmental impact statement. Now, and this also kind of teeters on what Walter's been doing in the way of looking at the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission, because they were at one point enacted to do an EIS for the marina, and they ended up backing out. We won't get into that, but at least this now gets put back in our lap to say, we've got the feds coming here May 10th, and we can start asking some very pointed questions to them as to what they think the cumulative impacts of this project, the project next over in Basin, the projects across over on the west side of the harbor. Where is their responsibility in doing an environmental impact statement? What happened to the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission? It creates a lot of uncomfortable decisions and uncomfortable possible answers that when we pose them, they'll have to answer. And when they don't answer, a judge will say, wait a minute, this is kind of odd, kind of like what Walter's talking about, being able to look at a series of documents and looking at how things have been hidden from the public. So, in summation, the feds are coming May 10th. This is the first federal hearing in Marina Del Rey since I've been in 10 years and working in this. 6 to 8 p.m. Tuesday night. Please be here. Bring your friends. Please be able to speak and simply say, why can we not, like Walter said, have a much more informed decision-making public process about how we want the marina developed? Why can you not, it's a protection under the Environmental Protection Act, yet you're choosing it's a really nasty term, independent utility. I don't know if you heard that, but independent utility means that they can simply take us off and say that this one little project doesn't amount to too much in the way of cumulative impacts. And we have to say, but wait a minute, of course it does. It not only has water impacts, but it has got so many different social impacts because it's used for so many different things. And, Kathy had mentioned birds. It's got so many different cumulative impacts. You can't just pass this off and say, this is independent utility. It won't wash. There's going to be so many of us in this room that say, no, that's not right. Please, you have to follow the Environmental Protection Act. You have to give us an environmental impact statement. You have to conduct a cumulative environmental analysis as to what is going on in the marina. Because as we all know, there is way too much going on, and this whole recreational aspect is going away. The birds are going away. This is turning into high-density, high-end development for just a few people, and we cannot let that happen. So please, May 10th, 6 to 8 p.m., Tuesday, be here, bring your loudest voice, and please keep it to yes or no questions. We got to pin them to the mat with yes or no questions. The Attorney General, you know, I've gone through this process many times with the county and the state, and had to fight to say they were telling us that we couldn't ask questions during public meetings. And we said, wait a minute, that's not true. And we have finally got the Attorney General and our district attorney to chime in and tell these guys, no, you don't get to tell the public they're not allowed to ask questions during public meetings. And we will be asking questions.
How about a good list of yes and no questions for those of us who can't even imagine what they might be? I'm
Sure.
happy to throw out an answer to a question, but I don't know what it is.
Sure. Yeah, we'll send that out. We'll put it on the website. We'll give you all these talking points, all these yes or no questions, and then you just ask it, and then you wait. And they will probably end up saying, I'm sorry, we don't have time to answer your question. You just say, wait a minute, it's a yes or no question. Yes or no. There's really not a lot of gray area in some of the questions we'll be asking. You either do this or you don't. So
they have not done any environmental impact studies on these projects? One after another after the
environmental impact report is different from an environmental impact statement. The county, what we're finding is the EIRs that have been done are easily, the traffic reports, everything by and large is easily kind of worked around. Whereas a federal environmental impact statement and the federal courts are much more demanding on the science that is involved.
I think we should wrap up.
That's it. Thank you so much.